Hello, passionate Celtic FC fans. This is Celtic Central News, your exclusive source for Celtic updates. Before we kick off, we appreciate the incredible support. If you love Celtic, subscribe now, hit like, and let's build this community together. Now, onto the latest news. A warm welcome to new subscribers. Your support is crucial. Hail, hail. Joe Hart, the former England and Celtic goalkeeper, has recently stirred the waters with candid remarks about his departure from Celtic FC. In a recent interview, Hart expressed feelings of being discarded by the club, stating, "I was tossed as if I were nothing." These words have sparked a wave of speculation and discussion among fans and pundits alike. While Hart's tenure at Celtic was marked by significant achievements, including securing 3 consecutive Scottish Premiership titles and 2 Scottish Cups, his exit appears to have been less ceremonious than expected. The goalkeeper's comments suggest a sense of abandonment, raising questions about the club's treatment of veteran players. Such sentiments are not uncommon in the world of football, where the emotional ties to a club can sometimes clash with the business decisions that govern player movements. Hart's decision to retire at the age of 37 after a distinguished career spanning over 2 decades was seen as a natural progression. However, the manner in which his departure was handled has left a lingering sense of unease. The club's response to Hart's remarks remains to be seen. But the situation underscores the complexities of player-club relationships in modern football. As the dust settles, fans and analysts alike are left pondering the implications of Hart's candid reflections on his exit from Celtic FC. The fallout from Joe Hart's comments continues to reverberate within the football community. Supporters of Celtic have taken to social media platforms to express their views, with many siding with the former goalkeeper. The hashtag #DieShould has trended in various regions, reflecting a collective sentiment of disapproval towards the club's handling of Hart's departure. This public outcry places additional pressure on Celtic FC to address the situation transparently. While some fans argue that Hart's age and recent performances may have influenced the club's decision, others contend that his contributions to the team's success warrant a more respectful farewell. The club's management faces a delicate balancing act, acknowledging the concerns of the fan base while maintaining internal policies and decisions. In the broader context, this incident highlights the challenges clubs face in managing player exits, especially when dealing with long-serving and beloved figures. The evolving narrative around Hart's departure could influence how other clubs approach similar situations in the future. As discussions unfold, the relationship between player loyalty and club decisions remains a topic of intense debate. In the aftermath of Joe Hart's retirement announcement, speculation about his future endeavors has intensified. While the goalkeeper has not publicly disclosed his post-retirement plans, industry insiders suggest that he may transition into a media role. Given his extensive experience and articulate nature, Hart could be a valuable asset to sports broadcasting networks. His insights into the game, coupled with his charismatic presence, would resonate well with audiences. Moreover, his recent appearances on various platforms hint at a growing interest in his perspectives on football. Should Hart pursue a career in media, he would join a growing list of former players who have successfully made the transition, leveraging their on-field experiences to offer unique analyses and commentary. However, until Hart confirms his next steps, these remain speculative. The football community eagerly awaits any official announcements regarding his future, as his next move could significantly impact the sports media landscape. Joe Hart's departure from Celtic FC has reignited discussions about the treatment of veteran players in modern football. Many former professionals have weighed in, expressing concerns over the lack of appreciation for players who have dedicated years to a club. The emphasis on youth and commercial interests often overshadows the contributions of seasoned athletes, leading to feelings of neglect. Analysts argue that clubs should implement more structured retirement plans, ensuring that long-serving players receive the recognition and support they deserve. Such initiatives could include mentorship roles, ambassador positions, or involvement in youth development programs. By valuing the experience and knowledge of veteran players, clubs can foster a more inclusive and respectful environment. Now, the situation with Hart serves as a poignant reminder of the need for clubs to balance performance metrics with human considerations. As the industry evolves, it is hoped that the treatment of veteran players will become a priority, ensuring that their legacies are honored appropriately. The media's portrayal of Joe Hart's comments has varied, with some outlets focusing on the emotional aspects of his departure, while others delve into the implications for Celtic FC. This divergence in coverage reflects the broader narrative surrounding the incident. Public relations experts suggest that the club's initial response to Hart's remarks was insufficient, leading to further scrutiny. A more proactive approach, including a public acknowledgement and dialogue with the player, could have mitigated the negative fallout. The incident underscores the importance of effective communication strategies in managing sensitive situations. In the digital age, where information spreads rapidly, clubs must be prepared to address controversies promptly and transparently. The evolving media landscape also means that public opinion can significantly influence a club's reputation. As the story develops, the manner in which Celtic FC handles the situation will likely set a precedent for future interactions between clubs and their players. Joe Hart's reflections on his time at Celtic FC have prompted a re-evaluation of the club's approach to player relationships. While the club has enjoyed success on the pitch, questions are now being raised about its internal culture and treatment of players. Former players have come forward, sharing their own experiences, some echoing Hart's sentiments of feeling undervalued. These testimonies suggest a pattern that could tarnish the club's image if not addressed. Celtic FC finds itself at a crossroads, needing to balance its competitive ambitions with the well-being and respect of its players. Implementing measures to ensure that all players, regardless of their tenure, feel appreciated and integral to the team's success is crucial. The club's response to the current situation will be closely monitored, as it could influence future player recruitment and retention strategies. A failure to adapt could result in a loss of trust among both current and prospective players. The broader football community has expressed solidarity with Joe Hart following his comments about Celtic FC. Supporters from various clubs have voiced their opinions, with many criticizing the treatment of veteran players. The incident has sparked debates about the human side of football, emphasizing the importance of respect and appreciation for players who have given much to the sport. Analysts suggest that this situation could serve as a catalyst for change, prompting clubs to reassess their policies regarding player welfare and retirement. There is a growing consensus that the industry must evolve to recognize the contributions of all players, not just the stars. As discussions continue, the hope is that the lessons learned from Hart's experience will lead to a more compassionate and respectful football environment. In conclusion, Joe Hart's candid remarks about his departure from Celtic FC have opened a dialogue about the treatment of veteran players in football. While the situation has cast a shadow over the club's recent successes, it also presents an opportunity for reflection and growth. Celtic FC, like many other clubs, must navigate the complexities of balancing performance with player well-being. The outcome of this situation will likely influence how clubs approach similar scenarios in the future. For Joe Hart, his legacy as a goalkeeper remains intact, but his words have added a new dimension to his story. As the football world watches closely, the hope is that this incident will lead to positive changes, ensuring that all players are treated with the respect and dignity they deserve. Whispers around the Scottish football scene suggest that Joe Hart's departure from Celtic may not have been as clean-cut as officially reported. Rumors hint at behind-the-scenes tensions between the goalkeeper and the club's management, though no one outside the inner circle can confirm the details. Sources close to the squad indicate that Hart felt sidelined in his final months, with training routines and match selections leaving him frustrated and questioning his future. While the club officially cited tactical decisions for his reduced playing time, insiders suggest that personal dynamics may have played a role. Hart's own words describing himself as being discarded like a nobody have given fuel to speculation that his exit was less about footballing considerations and more about internal disagreements. Fans have latched onto these claims, debating endlessly on social media and in fan forums, dissecting every possible angle of the story. Analysts too have joined the conversation, considering how Celtic's management style and communication strategies might have influenced Hart's perception. The saga has taken on a life of its own, with whispers that senior players may have tried to mediate behind closed doors, but were ultimately powerless to prevent the fallout. Before we proceed, subscribe to our channel and enable notifications to receive all exclusive news about Celtic FC. Don't miss any details about your favorite team. It's extremely important for Celtic FC fans. Further gossip hints that Hart may have been contemplating retirement long before the club announced it, with his decision influenced not only by age, but also by frustration with how his role had diminished. Rumors suggest that internal meetings and one-on-one discussions with coaching staff left Hart feeling undervalued, a sentiment echoed by other veteran players who have experienced similar treatment in the modern game. Social media chatter speculates that the goalkeeper might have even rejected offers from smaller clubs abroad because he wanted to finish his career with dignity, ideally in a setting that appreciated his contributions. The notion that he was discarded resonates particularly strongly with supporters who remember his peak performances and his pivotal role in title-winning campaigns. Commentators suggest that Hart's situation underscores a broader trend. In football, where clubs sometimes prioritize younger talent and financial considerations over loyalty and experience, the debate has sparked curiosity about how other seasoned players might navigate the twilight of their careers, questioning whether club culture sufficiently values the human side of the sport. Whether Hart's criticisms will lead to policy changes or merely fade as a footnote remains to be seen. But the rumor mill continues to churn relentlessly. Insiders whisper that Hart's public comments were calculated, intended to draw attention to what he perceived as systemic issues within Celtic. Observers speculate that the goalkeeper might have felt compelled to speak out after attempts at private discussions reportedly failed, leaving him frustrated and seeking vindication. There's talk that the timing of his remarks, closely following retirement, was no coincidence, suggesting a deliberate effort to influence the narrative before it was defined solely by the club. Pundits argue that Hart's candidness could embolden other players in similar situations, potentially creating a wave of openness about treatment and respect within teams. In fan circles, debates have become intense, with factions forming between those defending the club's decision-making and those sympathizing with Hart's experience. Social media amplifies these voices, making the rumor feel immediate and pressing. While Celtic have refrained from detailed public statements, insiders hint at ongoing internal discussions aimed at damage control and reassurance to remaining players. Meanwhile, Hart's own network of colleagues, former teammates, and even rivals have weighed in, offering perspectives that only add complexity to the narrative. The story, as it develops, seems destined to linger in Scottish football discourse for months. Speculation continues that Hart's experience could have long-term implications for how Celtic manages player departures in the future. Rumors suggest that club executives are quietly reviewing internal processes to prevent similar controversies, though nothing has been officially confirmed. Observers point out that the public reaction to Hart's comments has been significant, highlighting the power of a single player's voice in shaping perception. In particular, veteran players past and present are reportedly watching closely, assessing whether their loyalty and contributions might be similarly undervalued. Analysts have suggested that this could lead to changes in how exit strategies are communicated, with more formalized farewell protocols and post-retirement support roles for long-serving figures. The debate has sparked curiosity among football circles about the balance between business imperatives and the human aspects of team management. Rumors persist that Hart himself might consider taking a role in mentorship or coaching, turning his criticisms into constructive influence on younger players. The narrative is fluid, with no clear resolution yet in sight, but it continues to dominate conversations both online and in press speculation, leaving the impression that this is more than a simple retirement story. Behind the scenes, chatter among players hints at solidarity with Hart, though few are willing to speak publicly. Sources claim that whispers of frustration have circulated in dressing rooms across Scotland, reflecting wider concerns about how clubs treat seasoned professionals. Hart's comments have provided a focal point for these sentiments, giving a voice to those who may have felt overlooked or undervalued. Observers speculate that this could catalyze subtle shifts in club culture, particularly regarding communication and respect for veteran players. Analysts note that social media acts as an accelerant, transforming private frustrations into public debates with significant consequences for club reputations. There is talk that Hart's candor may inspire similar disclosures elsewhere, prompting reflection on internal management practices and prompting other players to reassess their futures. Rumors suggest that some Celtic supporters may feel a renewed sense of attachment to Hart, seeing him as a symbol of loyalty undervalued by bureaucracy. The ongoing discourse underscores the tension between performance metrics, commercial interests, and human relationships within football, highlighting the delicate balance clubs must navigate in an increasingly scrutinized environment. Speculative. Sources hint that Hart may explore media or punditry work, using his high-profile exit and candid remarks as leverage to establish a post-playing career. Rumors suggest that broadcasters are already in quiet conversations with Hart, anticipating that his frank opinions and first-hand experience could resonate with viewers. Analysts speculate that his insider perspective on Celtic, combined with reflections on his broader career, would make for compelling content. Fans are particularly intrigued by the possibility of Hart providing commentary not only on matches but also on player treatment, management decisions, and the nuances of locker room dynamics. There is talk that his transition into media might be influenced by his desire to maintain influence over public perception, controlling his narrative in a way that he felt unable to do while at Celtic. While all of this remains speculative, insiders argue that Hart's reputation, professionalism, and willingness to speak openly position him as a potential media figure with considerable impact. The rumor mill thrives on every hint, leading to a narrative where his next moves are as eagerly dissected as his past performances between the posts. Some speculate that Hart's experience at Celtic could trigger wider conversations within Scottish football about how veteran players are treated. Rumors suggest that other clubs are watching closely, assessing whether similar issues exist in their own structures. Pundits argue that the incident illustrates a tension between competitive ambition and loyalty, raising questions about how clubs balance performance pressures with respect for individuals. Supporters speculate that Hart's comments may serve as a catalyst for institutional reflection, prompting clubs to introduce formal channels for player feedback and exit planning. The discussion extends beyond Celtic, touching on broader principles of fairness, recognition, and professional dignity. Rumors persist that veteran players may now feel empowered to speak out, potentially changing the landscape of player club dynamics in Scotland. Analysts note that Hart's situation exemplifies how a single player's voice can challenge institutional norms, forcing clubs to rethink policies and public relations strategies. While concrete outcomes remain uncertain, the speculation surrounding potential reforms highlights the enduring influence of Hart's candid revelations on the Scottish football community. Finally, whispers suggest that the saga between Joe, Hart and Celtic may have long-lasting implications for both the player and the club. Rumors indicate that Hart's words have already sparked internal discussions about player treatment, retirement protocols, and the communication of decisions that affect veteran members of squads. Observers speculate that Celtic may implement subtle reforms to prevent future controversies, while other clubs watch for lessons to apply internally. Fans continue to dissect Hart's statements, sharing theories and debating the broader implications for loyalty, respect, and professional legacy. Analysts speculate that his outspoken nature could shape cultural norms in football, inspiring other players to voice concerns about management practices. Meanwhile, Hart himself remains a figure of intrigue, with speculation about media involvement, coaching, or mentorship continuing to swirl. The rumor-driven narrative has captured attention far beyond Celtic, reflecting wider questions about ethics, recognition, and treatment within modern football. In this way, Hart's candid reflections, even in retirement, continue to resonate, shaping conversations and influencing perceptions in Scottish football circles, leaving the story very much alive and evolving. Hello, fan! Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as it means a lot to Celtic FC. Also, share your opinion about the news in the comments below. See you in the next video.